The Galactic Council chamber floated above the Orion Nebula, a vast expanse of iridescent gases curling like liquid fire. Stars blinked in distant patterns, indifferent to the squabbles of civilizations. Earth's delegation had waited for months for this moment, and now Commander Alina Ray stood alone at the podium, her posture rigid, her mind a taut wire of focus. "You claim a threat approaches," intoned High Chancellor Vrylox, his voice a low vibration that seemed to hum in the chamber itself. His many eyes glimmered like black opals, sizing her up, evaluating whether humanity even deserved the floor. "Explain, in your primitive terms, why we should divert resources to a species we barely recognize." Alina's gaze did not waver. "You have underestimated us for centuries," she said evenly, her tone cutting through the hubris that filled the room. "The Vrikan Dominion is not simply another expansionist state. They are precise, ruthless, and they are moving now toward the fringe systems that border both human and allied space. If ignored, Earth and our allies will face annihilation." A ripple of murmurs spread across the chamber. The elder delegates shifted uneasily, exchanging alien glances that carried centuries of arrogance. "Evidence," Vrylox demanded. "We require proof, not conjecture." Alina activated her tablet. Holographic projections shimmered above the podium, the Vrikan fleet, hundreds of vessels moving in perfect formation, cloaked in stealth fields that made them nearly invisible to conventional observation. She highlighted their trajectories toward human and minor alien colonies. "These readings come from our deep space observation arrays," she explained. "Every year, humanity has quietly developed technologies capable of detecting anomalies before any other known system. Your sensors cannot match ours. We are not bluffing. We are prepared, but only if action is taken now." One delegate, a tall crystalline entity named Selvar, tilted its form toward her. Its voice rang like glass over steel. "You speak with confidence, human. Yet your fleets are small. Your history is brief. What makes you think you can resist an empire?" Alina stepped forward, her voice firm. "Because we have foresight, ingenuity, and the willingness to act decisively. And because underestimating humans is a mistake every civilization has regretted sooner or later." A cold silence followed. Vrylox's many limbs flexed with restrained irritation. "We will deliberate," he said finally, dismissing her. "Your warning will be noted. Earth may continue in its limited capacity." Alina's jaw tightened. "Limited," she muttered under her breath, though the translator chip in her ear carried her words clearly. Her fists clenched. She had expected dismissal, yet the weight of it struck like cold metal. Back on Earth, the skies burned with golden light as solar flares danced along the atmosphere. Alina returned to the command center beneath the surface of the Pacific Ocean, a sprawling complex of concrete, steel, and neural link grids that connected Earth's defense systems. She walked past technicians monitoring quantum drives, energy shields, and AI predictive algorithms. None looked surprised when she arrived. They knew she would return with the Council's expected indifference. "We were dismissed," she said, voice low but precise. "They don't take us seriously." Again. Lieutenant Marcus Vey, her second in command, didn't flinch. "We expected it. The Council's arrogance is predictable. But they cannot ignore us forever, not if the Vrikan reach human space." Alina moved to the tactical display, fingers hovering over the interactive star map. "We cannot wait for recognition. We prepare in secret. Every defensive array, every ship, every AI protocol, ready them. And run the simulations again. I want contingencies for every possibility, including a full-scale orbital strike." A young analyst spoke up nervously. "Commander, even our cloaked fleets can't match the Vrikan numbers if they engage fully. Are you suggesting we fight them outright?" Alina's eyes met his. "Not fight. Outthink them. They rely on brute force, predictable aggression. Humanity thrives in unpredictability. That is our advantage. Use it." Hours passed as Earth's hidden fleets moved silently into position, cloaked and ready. Every ship carried the quiet confidence of a species underestimated. Alina walked among the officers, offering guidance, correcting minor calculations, asking questions that revealed unseen flaws. Every decision was a thread in a tapestry designed to turn the galaxy's arrogance against itself. Late into the night, Alina stood alone on the observation deck, staring at the stars. Each point of light seemed fragile, distant, but she felt a pulse beneath them, the quiet heartbeat of human potential. "They think we are small," she whispered. "They think we are weak. Soon, they will see they were wrong." A chime interrupted her reflection. The AI assistant, a sleek silver orb, hovered into view. "Commander," an unregistered signal detected from the Orion frontier. "Fleet movement matches Viking tactics. Estimated engagement in 3 solar cycles." Alina's lips pressed into a thin line. "They are coming faster than we thought." Her fingers tapped commands into the console, running counterintelligence protocols and defensive simulations. Every step was calculated, precise, designed to exploit alien misjudgment. Marcus entered, eyes scanning the readouts. "They'll strike first at our outposts. Then, the Council will finally take notice." Alina nodded. "Let them wait. When humans move, it will not be out of desperation. It will be out of strategy, and they will remember our name." For the first time, the chamber of the universe felt small, almost manageable. The weight of centuries of human underestimation pressed on her, but it fueled a fire. Earth had been ignored once. Never again. Humanity's hidden strength, the product of intelligence, courage, and relentless perseverance, was ready. And when the Viking Dominion struck, the galaxy would tremble, not because humans sought war, but because humans had been prepared all along. The void before Orion's frontier stretched black and infinite, pierced by distant stars that seemed to blink in indifference. Hidden within this emptiness, the Earth fleet drifted in silence, cloaked beneath adaptive shields that bent light and warped sensor readings. Commander Alina Ray stood on the command bridge of the flagship Aurora, her hands resting lightly on the railing, eyes scanning the tactical hologram projected above the deck. Every star, every shadow of movement, was accounted for. "Unregistered ships detected," reported Lieutenant Vey, voice taut but controlled. "Clusters matching Viking attack formations. They've split into 3 groups, approaching from the Vega corridor." Alina didn't flinch. "Estimate their strike vectors and engagement time," she said. Her mind raced, anticipating every possible maneuver the Viking could attempt. "And cross-check with the wormhole contingencies." "Already running simulations," Vey replied. "Our probability of a successful interception using conventional formations, 22%. Alina's eyes narrowed. "Then we won't use conventional formations." She tapped commands into the console, realigning fleet positions into an unconventional wedge. "They expect predictability. We give them chaos instead." A young tactical officer hesitated. "Commander, you mean we risk a frontal engagement with smaller numbers?" Alina met the officer's gaze. "Not risk. Calculation. They rely on overwhelming firepower. We rely on anticipation and adaptability. That is our advantage." Silence filled the bridge as her words sank in. Outside, the void remained deceptively calm. Then, without warning, the first Viking vessels pierced the darkness, sleek and black, their angular hulls cutting across the starlight. Missiles streaked toward Earth's outposts in the frontier system. "Missile interceptors deployed," the communications officer shouted. Streams of plasma lit up the black, exploding in silent flashes that illuminated the fleet briefly. The Viking ships adjusted their trajectory, releasing drones to flank Earth's hidden vessels. Alina's fingers danced across the controls. "Activate quantum decoys on all mid-range vessels. Lead the drones toward the outermost perimeter. Keep them distracted. Let them commit first." The bridge erupted in activity, the hum of engines and AI calculations blending into a symphony of controlled chaos. Viking drones collided with decoys, detonating in brilliant arcs, while the main fleet remained cloaked, slipping behind their lines. "Commander," Vey said, voice tight, "they're adjusting." Our cloaks won't hold if they get visual confirmation of our position. Alina leaned forward, tapping the hologram. Then we remove ourselves from their expectation. Initiate wormhole insertion points at vectors 3 and 7. Short jumps, minimal detection. They'll think we've retreated. Instead, we'll flank. The fleet shimmered, bending the fabric of space in precise increments. Within seconds, the human vessels reappeared behind the Vrikan vanguard, guns trained and energy pulses primed. Open fire! Alina commanded. Energy beams lanced across the void, striking with pinpoint accuracy. Vrikan vessels were caught in a crossfire they hadn't anticipated. Explosions blossomed along their hulls, throwing the fleet into disarray. Their formations crumbled, and the humans moved with a fluid coordination that no AI, however advanced, could replicate fully. A Vrikan captain's voice crackled over intercepted channels, tinged with disbelief. These humans, they are adapting faster than protocols allow. Alina allowed herself a brief, controlled smile. That's what they underestimate, she murmured. Minutes stretched into tense hours. The Vrikan regrouped, trying to corral the humans into predictable combat zones. But Alina had anticipated every maneuver. Each time the enemy adjusted, the human fleet countered with unconventional strategies, wormhole hops, synchronized energy pulses, and feints that left the Vrikan chasing shadows. Commander, we've disabled 20% of their vanguard, a tactical officer reported. We're forcing retreat. Do not let them regroup, Alina replied. Push the disruption to their command vessels. Strike with precision, no wasted shots. The battle reached a climax when the humans launched a coordinated energy surge, a move no alien strategist had predicted. Vrikan ships trembled under the assault, their shields faltering, communications failing. One by one, vessels disengaged, fleeing deeper into uncharted space. Alina leaned back, exhaling slowly. Report casualty and damage assessments. Minimal losses, Commander, they replied. The fleet performed exceptionally. More importantly, the Vrikan will remember this engagement. Alina's eyes scanned the holographic battlefield. She saw not just victory, but a turning point. Humanity had moved from being ignored observers to active disruptors. Ensure this data reaches the Council's archives, she said. They need to understand humans cannot be sidelined. Vey shook his head slightly. Do you think they'll take notice this time? Alina's gaze remained fixed on the fading enemy positions. They will. Not because they like us, but because they fear what they cannot predict. In the aftermath, communications from minor civilizations trickled in. Some expressed astonishment, others tentative curiosity. One message stood out, a representative from the Orlani Collective. Your tactics are revolutionary. The galaxy has underestimated your species for too long. Alina allowed herself the smallest nod of satisfaction. Humanity's potential was no longer hidden. It had been revealed in action, raw and undeniable. But even as celebrations began, Alina remained vigilant. The Vrikan were not defeated, they had merely been delayed. A deeper conflict loomed, one that required foresight, adaptability, and unyielding resolve. Marcus approached, his tone cautious. Commander, the Council's reaction will be critical. They may attempt to control, restrict, or even exploit us now that we've demonstrated capability. Alina's expression hardened. Let them try. Humanity will not bow to arrogance. We act in defense, in foresight, in strategy. Let them tremble at what we can do, and let the galaxy learn a lesson they cannot ignore. She turned back to the holographic map, plotting the next moves, the next defenses, the next engagements. Each decision was a calculated statement. Humans were no longer the underestimated species of legend, they were a force shaping the galaxy. And when the Vrikan returned, as they inevitably would, they would meet a humanity that was ready, relentless, and far more formidable than any empire could imagine. The Galactic Council's chamber, usually serene in its eternal orbit above the Orion Nebula, was charged with tension. The ambient hum of alien energy fields seemed louder than usual, echoing off the crystalline walls. Commander Alina Ray's holographic projection dominated the room, displaying live feeds of Vrikan retreat routes, fleet destruction, and human maneuvers. Every delegate watched in stunned silence, their previous arrogance replaced by disbelief. Vrylox's many eyes narrowed, scanning the displays with an intensity that radiated authority and suppressed fury. "This is impossible," he growled, each syllable vibrating through the chamber. No species could orchestrate such simultaneous attacks, such precision. Alina's voice cut through the tension, calm but unyielding. "Impossible for you, perhaps. But humans do not measure capability by expectation. We measure it by preparation, innovation, and willingness to act decisively. The Vrikan Dominion underestimated us. You underestimated us. That ends today." A delegate from the Feral Conclave, their semi-transparent form shifting nervously, whispered to a neighbor. "They've annihilated nearly half the Vrikan vanguard, without a single lost cruiser." "How?" Vrylox slammed a limb against the chamber floor, reverberating through the structure. "Enough theatrics. You are a single planet. You threaten a dominion, and now you parade your superiority before the Council?" Alina stepped forward, hologram pulsating with tactical overlays. "Not superiority, Chancellor. Responsibility. Humanity does not seek conquest. We seek survival and recognition. And the recognition you refuse to grant is now unavoidable. Your fleets are retreating. The Vrikan command is destabilized. You have a choice: acknowledge the humans and adapt, or remain blind while we act independently." The delegates murmured among themselves, voices a mix of awe and fear. Even the Feral Conclave, known for their detached diplomacy, leaned closer, analyzing every movement and statistic Alina presented. Vrylox hissed, a sound like tearing metal. "You defy centuries of galactic order. You will be punished." Alina raised a hand, cutting him off. "Punishment is not required. The galaxy simply needs to understand the consequences of underestimating its inhabitants. Humans are capable of precision, innovation, and strategy that no single dominion, council, or empire can suppress. You have had your chance to engage with us as equals. You failed." For a moment, silence fell heavier than any weapon strike. The Council's chambers felt smaller, the stars outside a distant reminder that power had shifted subtly but irrevocably. Outside, in human-controlled space, the fleet continued operations with surgical precision. The remnants of the Vrikan forces were corralled into escape corridors pre-planned by Alina's simulations. Every jump, every energy pulse, every diversion had been calculated. By the time Vrikan Command realized the full extent of the trap, humanity had already rewritten the outcome. Lieutenant Vey approached Alina aboard the Aurora. "Commander, our strategy has worked flawlessly. We've contained the Vrikan in 3 sectors. They are no longer capable of mounting a coordinated counterattack." Alina's gaze remained on the Council feed. "Good. But containment is not victory. Victory is recognition, acknowledgement that humans are no longer overlooked." She tapped a command, overlaying human fleet positions onto the Council display. "Let them see we are organized, united, and far more formidable than they imagined." In the chamber, whispers grew louder. Delegates exchanged speculation. The Orlani representative spoke with measured astonishment. "Human strategy, it defies expectation. They adapt faster than any known species, yet maintain cohesion. This is not aggression, it is mastery." Vrylox's tone grew bitter, each syllable laced with frustration. "You flaunt your successes, and yet you are still a single species among billions. What can you truly achieve without the Council's guidance?" Alina smiled faintly, her voice steady. "Guidance is unnecessary. Humanity learns, evolves, and acts independently when required. We do not seek permission. We do not rely on the complacency of others. And we do not forgive underestimation lightly." The chamber's attention shifted, delegates realizing the implications. The humans had not only defended their territory, they had executed a campaign that disrupted an entire Dominion's command structure. The Council could no longer dismiss Earth as insignificant. Vrylox's form shuddered in visible frustration. This is not over. You will regret this audacity, human. Alina's tone was calm, almost reflective. Regret is for those who underestimate their adversaries. I have no need for vengeance. I only ensure preparedness. The galaxy will remember the lesson: humans are neither weak nor predictable. Those who doubt us will learn through consequence. The projection shifted, displaying the last of the Vrikan retreats, their fleet fragmented and their leadership isolated. Alina turned to Vey. Prepare the diplomatic channels. Reach out to minor civilizations observing this engagement. Offer alliances. Share data on Vrikan vulnerabilities. Let them see the future of interstellar collaboration, and let humans lead by example. Vey hesitated briefly, then nodded. Understood, Commander. Coordination will begin immediately. Alina exhaled quietly, her mind already calculating the next steps. Earth had shown strength, but strength alone was not enough. Recognition, respect, and strategic alliances would cement humanity's place among the stars. In the council chamber, delegates finally began to speak, their voices cautious, tinged with reverence and fear. We underestimated them, admitted a delegate from the Sarati Guild. Earth has demonstrated capability unparalleled in recent memory. Perhaps, humans must be consulted in all future strategic matters. Alina allowed herself a small nod. The acknowledgement was subtle, but it carried the weight of centuries of doubt erased in a single demonstration of ingenuity and courage. Vrylox recoiled, unable to mask his fury as the council collectively shifted toward humanity's favor. For the first time, humans were not the outsiders, the primitives, or the ignored observers. They were a force that could not be dismissed. As the chamber emptied, Alina lingered, studying the holographic projections of fleets, star systems, and the fading shadows of Vrikan defeat. She whispered softly, more to herself than anyone else, "We have been ignored. We have been underestimated. But now, humanity stands, and the galaxy will never forget." Outside, the stars stretched endlessly, silent witnesses to the rise of a species that had, until now, been invisible in the cosmic hierarchy. A species that had turned foresight, courage, and ingenuity into power. And as humans continued their careful, deliberate preparations, the galaxy trembled, not from conquest, but from the undeniable realization that Earth, long dismissed, had revealed potential that no one could ignore. The era of humanity's true influence had begun. The corridors of the Earth Command Citadel were alive with quiet determination. Every console, every holographic display, and every officer hummed with the energy of a species that had finally claimed its place among the stars. Commander Alina Ray moved through the control center with the calm authority of someone carrying the weight of both victory and responsibility. Her eyes scanned reports streaming in from across human-controlled sectors, each one confirming what she already knew: the Vrikan Dominion had retreated, fractured, and humiliated, and the galaxy was watching. "Commander," Lieutenant Vey said, stepping beside her. His voice was low, tinged with both relief and caution. "The minor civilizations are responding. Alliances are forming faster than we predicted. They recognize our capability, and they want partnership." Alina nodded, fingers brushing over the tactical display. "This is the moment we've been preparing for. Not just defense, not just victory, but leadership. The galaxy is seeing humanity not as a threat, but as a stabilizing force. We must be deliberate." A chime signaled a new incoming transmission. Alina activated it. The council's chamber appeared in three-dimensional projection, delegates standing in a mixture of reverence and unease. High Chancellor Vrylox glared at her, his form rigid with suppressed fury. "You have disrupted the balance of this galaxy," Vrylox hissed. "Humans, you will pay for your audacity." Alina's tone was even, measured. "I disrupted nothing. I responded. We acted when the council failed to act. You chose arrogance over prudence. The consequences were yours to bear. Humanity will not seek retribution, we will seek stability, alliances, and foresight." The galaxy will adapt, or it will suffer. The delegates whispered among themselves. One representative, from the Orlani Collective, spoke finally. Commander Ray, Earth has demonstrated a capability no species anticipated. We request a formal council meeting to acknowledge your leadership and discuss joint strategies against threats like the Vriken. Alina allowed herself a small, satisfied nod. Acknowledgement is not our goal, it is a natural outcome of responsibility. Prepare the protocols for coordination. Humanity will lead by example, but not by force. Those who wish to contribute to galactic stability are welcome, those who resist, will find themselves sidelined. Vrylox's eyes narrowed, his many limbs twitching. This is insubordination. You are one planet, one species, defying centuries of galactic hierarchy. You cannot hope to maintain influence. Alina's response was calm, unshakable. Influence comes not from size, but from capability and foresight. We have demonstrated both. Your empire is fractured, your fleets scattered, and your council humbled. The galaxy will remember that underestimating humanity is unwise. On the Aurora, Alina turned to the fleet commanders via secure channels. Maintain readiness. We are leaders, not conquerors. We extend the hand of cooperation, but we remain vigilant. The Vriken will attempt recovery, and other powers will test our resolve. Every system under our protection must know that humans act decisively, wisely, and ethically. The response was unanimous: understanding, commitment, and quiet pride. Humanity had transformed from an underestimated species into a symbol of strategic brilliance and moral integrity. In the following days, the Council convened a historic session. Alina presented detailed analyses of Vriken tactics, weaknesses, and human counter-strategies. Every point was backed by data, every argument illustrated by precise simulations. Delegates leaned in, captivated not by intimidation, but by respect for competence. We have been wrong to ignore Earth, one elder conceded. The humans act with foresight, courage, and intelligence. Their victories are not chance, they are deliberate, calculated, and morally guided. They are deserving of recognition. Alina addressed the chamber. Recognition is not merely symbolic. It ensures that humanity can contribute to the galaxy's future in meaningful ways. We do not seek dominion over others. We seek to demonstrate that intelligence, perseverance, and ethical action are forces the galaxy must respect. The session concluded with a unanimous vote: Earth would assume a formal role in the Council as a strategic advisor, empowered to guide interstellar defense protocols, and included in diplomatic decisions that affected all civilizations. Back on Earth, celebrations were quiet but meaningful. Scientists, strategists, and military personnel shared moments of acknowledgement and satisfaction. Humanity's long years of preparation, innovation, and resilience had culminated not in domination, but in recognition. Alina walked along the observation deck overlooking the Pacific Basin, now illuminated by human-made orbital arrays. Marcus joined her, a faint smile on his face. They're finally listening. Alina's gaze remained fixed on the horizon of stars. Listening is only the beginning. Now comes the hard part, maintaining integrity while exercising influence. Power without wisdom is dangerous, and we must ensure humanity never falls into that trap. Marcus nodded. Do you think they'll respect us fully? They will, she said. Not because they have no choice, but because we have earned it. And when humans act with precision, foresight, and courage, even the most skeptical civilizations cannot ignore us. That is the essence of who we are. In the months that followed, human-led initiatives reshaped the galaxy. Minor civilizations gained protection under coordinated human defense systems. The Vriken Dominion, fragmented and wary, avoided direct conflict. New alliances flourished, grounded not in fear, but in admiration for humanity's capability and ethics. Yet Alina knew vigilance was essential. Every victory had its consequences, and every alliance required careful nurturing. Humanity's rise had shifted the balance of power. The galaxy was watching, closely. One evening, alone in the command center, Alina addressed the AI assistant. Prepare reports for the Council. Highlight not only our successes, but our strategic reasoning, ethical considerations, and contingency plans. Humanity's reputation is built as much on intelligence as on moral clarity. The AI replied in its precise, unflinching tone. Reports are compiling. Data integrity verified. Alina leaned back, exhaling slowly. For centuries, humans had been underestimated. Now, the galaxy had witnessed their ingenuity, courage, and moral resilience. They had been ignored once, challenged once, and underestimated once. And each time, they had risen stronger, proving that the true measure of a civilization was not in its fleets alone, but in the mind, spirit, and foresight of its people. The stars beyond the citadel sparkled like countless eyes, silent witnesses to humanity's ascent. Alina whispered, almost reverently, "We've been seen. And we will not be forgotten." The era of humanity had arrived, not through conquest, but through wisdom, innovation, and the unyielding determination to act when others could not. The galaxy had trembled once, and it would remember forever.